Sisia make say the International Monetary Fund and Pennyfor led by Dr. Rubin Atoyan, IMF Director for Sub-Saharan Africa, ewo omayemo for a 2-week verdict after meeting with the Finance Ministry and the Bank of Ghana governor. Nina say IMF the 6th and final review of Ghana's IMF program here in 2022. Now, the IMF, but under this 6th and final review, the structural reforms be egwakwemu a was say Ghana aban etumi meet these structural reforms. It be a reforms the Bank of Ghana. It be a reforms under capitalization of certain banks. It be a reforms under various monetary policies, exchange rate, gross domestic product, and you be. Now, say you meet sa a review we are. Nyakopo Yadoma August Busumi, Ghana is in line to receive a check of $360 million. A $360 million check from the IMF. A final sika yebenya under this current IMF program. Not to say Ghana exited from the IMF program in August 2026. Now, in fact, sika no nsem kaye no ebeye bibie ho because ebra IMF Sub-Saharan Africa Director Dr. Rubin Atoyan ene ne mpanimfo ewa ha no. Former Finance Minister Dr. Amin Adam Anta enso ekura ne nkuku ene ne nkaka ye nkrata abawura mu ewo IMF headquarters ya ewo Washington DC. Documents no in respect to Ghana sika samon tutuye sadie aban yesi ye no enye nkomodi a ya no omudi a omo etwagura edigu nioma bi so de kire IMF. Dr. Amin Anta, in fact ne nkrata no akopie mu ewo Washington DC, the mission chief Ghana ECF program under the IMF. Or the reality on the grounds. Said ye Ghana sika samon tutu yetie. Said ye yefa so arane Bank of Ghana in relation to enshisheya IMF digu akwemu a sa hiheye no na ebre some $360 million in cash. Na krata akopie mu wo IMF no emu ensem no eye poto kasante eduru bia mepoto kakra. Na eduru bia sese nchirimu banso na machirimu kakra. It is a 7-page letter intino eniyama na omu no edoso kakra. Na yewra Amin Anta Shase na ode abasobode ema the International Monetary Fund say abribia no omo eboa na Ghana ene ewiase amaya hodo ekọ ahochirimu a omo eba yemwa ya yefre no helping in the restoration of macroeconomic stability during crisis. Ana yewra Amin Anta chirimu say ebra nyame eyadomu a IMF dwumadie nyina no eba awieye no eho behia se obetwe fund no aso ede esi enioma bi a in fact ekoso ewo man yi sikasam tutuyemu ne titiri the 2025 financial statement Bank of Ghana ede abetodwa in fact eho nsem kaye no aye enioma bebrebe ya wohwemu a ene IMF nhihye ya omo eyede ma oman yi ntia qualify for some $360 million check and then the book brakakra. Ebi the significant fiscal monetary policies. Ebi recommendations for strengthened fiscal risk management. Ebi the central bank, which is the Bank of Ghana's balance sheet repair and post-program policy sustainability. This eniyama kakra we see ena Dr. Amin Adam Anta si opese on the IMF ehwehwe ho enkomo ne he de dikan o se de dikan say Bank of Ghana say gina bia Bank of Ghana gina no gina bia your friend no the severe negative equity position just say eka twitwiri die eka one tam ya yen sika korabea kese no ege ne ho a enye na saa eka wantam no na Dr. Amin anta echirem se afi etwa mu no na saa eka wantam no ege na 58.62 billion Ghana cedis ya na IMF kura chirem se ewo soro yie yebo no aban no ebo ne homoden se afi bia obete so nti yanhwe se by the close of 2025 through the IMF reforms no yebetumi atesuhwi we de enteso ama nemo no ya bohu se balam ama from 58.62 million Ghana cedis. Dr. Amin anta say oma IMF aso atese say eduru 93.82 billion Ghana cedis. Ya chese uhwemu ya efri afia etwa mu edeba afi no ye yefra no eka one time no yefra no the negative equity no increase close to 50%. Na eno na Dr. Amin anta say ochiremu a de kire ne say ye balance sheet ya eye meaningful balance sheet no in fact achia say team ya kire say aban yi sikasam ntutuye no omo twewura ene de agusuro ase no enye kura enioma agensem kura de to so mienu ya Dr. Amin anta esa kire mu ni say in fact Bank of Ghana assign a report to a loss so omo didwa aboka miwa omo operating income enso kosoro enti ye den na bank operating income kosoro na obewi afemu ni nyina na waboka susuru ya eka susuru no a Bank of Ghana e boy in 2025 no enso akogina 15.63 billion Ghana cedis ya audit to afi etwa mu afrase de ho a na eye 9.49 billion Ghana cedis eno na Dr. Amin anta kire mu a said enuoma sifa ya wo hwe a operating income no so kwa na kosoro no de kire ne se de dikan operating expenses ya ekoso Bank of Ghana ekosoro de to so mienu open market operation cost enso ekosoro de to so miensa ye fra bibi revaluation losses eno so kwa na ekosoro afei exchange rate omo de sa omo nsafo hen no so no ohwemu yie pa exchange rate losses enso kwa na ekosoro ni nyina ne se omo ma ye exchange rate say ye 10 Ghana cedi omo tabiri ye nsika kokko ye gold de kwa mono ne so omo kwa koton e de abebo man hu bra na ehon so omo kokotu exchange rate eno na ye ewiase adwama so de ese meaning say exchange rate omo kan de kire ye no eni wiase adwama so de no ebobra enti omo koton mra no na ye nya ade ye frɛ no exchange losses and afi gold related losses ya sa nyoma ni nyina no ekosoro yie pa no a wo say IMF ehye no so na Dr. Amin say mu bi say capital position of the Bank of Ghana say aye more severe ya eno na reflect in the profit and loss account alone. Osaka say ebra Ghana sika korabea kese Bank of Ghana ebo ka 2024 na ye 9.4 billion no na say IMF ne World Bank hwese ye bete so asese ehuri boom edeko 13.5 billion Ghana cedis no. In all this ye bibi a friend the positive comprehensive income ya a result in comprehensive gain in 2024 but over 2025 comprehensive income comprehensive gain no ni nyina no akwakoye eka twitwiridie susuru. Now the to so me ensateli or said the cost of open market operations and so increase materially. Ya Ochirem said the cost of open market operations rise every 8.60 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 equal to 16.73 billion Ghana cedis in 2025. Ya eno chere say monetary policy implementations continue to carry a very high quasi fiscal cost, with banks' expenses constituting a substantial share of operating income. Enti Bank of Ghana adwuma enye sika de ye friend operating income through various activities. Nanso no bank no ankasa eka obo edigu ho through salaries, through adwumadie bi a ekoso ewo ho no etwe saa sika eba bank ne mu nyina de firi mu ema ekowie eka twitwiridi a odwene ho a onti ase. Ebia Dr. Amin Anta Sanchez said the bank's policy solvency presentation require careful interpretation. I didn't know because I have a potonic kakra say the bank reports a positive policy solvency position. Yeah, a year 5.5 billion cedis for 2025. However, this calculation includes 9.57 billion Ghana cedis net gain from the sale of refined gold. Until without this one-off gain, the underlying policy solvency position appears materially weaker and potentially negative. This raises concerns that the apparent improvement in policy solvency may not reflect a fundamental strengthening of operations, but rather the impact of non-recurring income. Maminchemu kakra, the Dr. Amin Nanta na ochi mohane say, Usha Bank of Ghana nkrata asem no a yefre bibi positive policy solvency 2025 yi omo say ehuri e de call 5.5 billion cedis. But over Dr. Amin Anta ne encheche mu de mana say gold bia eye 18 tons of gold wa abayi tabiri free yen gold reserve ekoton ye between September to December 2024 no kwa no sika ya edebeka saa sika we mu eye almost 4.6 billion cedis. Enti ote no free mu a ote saa gold no a ahohare so yeko hu ye wa adwama so ma saa sika no ba ye no free mu na kire se bank no an kasa modemmo ewo sika semu no ewo fom emre ye ka ho asemu enye ye sanse eye saa gold no a ye no butwa faso. And 10 between September and December 2024 no ene ma sa a policy solvency presentation no position no eko gina 9.57 million Ghana cedis in net. But oti go de die free mu a na skana kasa na ke 5.5 billion cedis a e source ne de 2024 ye nya ya na ye 6.7 billion cedis a eno ya nye eye gold ton ho asem bia Alpha Ama machine. Ebion was gold related activities introduce volatility and transparency risk. And I will tell you say the bank recorded a 9.57 billion cedis gain from the sale of refined gold, while also recording 9.05 billion cedis in net losses on gold deals. Aha so na asem ni nyina won. Enti Dr. Amin Anta IMF adwene si bibi so say Bank of Ghana sika samun tutu ye krata ebeto dwam. Omo say omo carry Ghana yen sika koko ekwa adwama so koton ye. Sika yen saka ye 9.5 billion Ghana cedis. Ye gains as a result of sale of refined gold. Omo wi no masaka kire say sa gold no hu dwa omo di ye no so no eka ye sa bo gold hu dwa na eno so ye net loss so no 9.05 billion cedis. Into 9.57 okote 9.05 free mu a aka sen aka 5.2 de na kire se uhwemu yi a sika nkasa Ghana ye ton ye gold nyaye eye 502 million Ghana cedis because oton ade 9 billion 570 million na ade na oton ye no sika wonyaye 9.57 billion se mi kire mu na ehon ka esa kosom 9.05 na kire sa de na nkasa no emfa so botna wonya free so no enye sa 9.57 billion no a o ma kotru mu na emu no eye just 502 million Ghana cedis. Dr. Amin Anta also watch IMF address so say yen tabri Ghana gold over 18 tons so nkwa manone na yen ton nya sika wi na mo san kan chese mo san bo kasa dia na chese gold no ye ton ye no emfa so be pa e na e ba so ye to so nsia. Dr. Amin Anta Sanchez said the revaluation account reserve declined sharply. The revaluation account reserve fell from 25.80 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to 2.18 billion cedis in 2025, primarily due to 23.62 billion Ghana cedis in exchange and revaluation losses on gold, SDRs, and foreign securities being recorded through other comprehensive income. While this treatment is permitted, it transfers valuation losses to equity rather than profit and loss, thereby weakening the bank's capital position. This demonstrates the high sensitivity of the bank's balance sheet to exchange rate movement and valuation effect. And finally, Dr. Amin said the use of gold reserves raises important policy questions. You may recall that concerns were raised regarding the sale of approximately 18 tons of gold reserves, which generated about 40.3 billion Ghana cedis. The bank indicated that this was undertaken to rebalance its reserve portfolio. However, the financial statement suggests that gains from these transactions also played a significant role in supporting income. The bank itself acknowledges that its policy solvency position was supported by substantial inflows from bullion gold sales. This raises the possibility that gold sales were not only a reserve management decision but also an important factor in offsetting underlying losses. Enti Dr. Amin Anta ahade no opachene say Bank of Ghana koton ye gold over 18 tons. Yani ye gold reserve na His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia through gold purchasing program abuild ewo Bank of Ghana. Oba no omoton ye omo say omoton ye because na omo pese omo rebalance ye reserve portfolio. Say no omo boa. Say ton no omoton ye according to Dr. Amin Anta na ekatwetwere dia na omo abro dia go Bank of Ghana no. Sa gold yi ton yi ehu sika ebe offsetting. Ya eno nkwa no ebre ye 40.3 billion Ghana cedis. Enti se wo yi gold yi dia ifri mu a na ye tie di omo kan ye se just a rebalance of reserve portfolio dia. Eni na ka Ghana ye negative equity no na etwamu 200 billion Ghana cedis. Sorry. Ti Dr. Amin Anta Chirima we nso na otwe adwene ewo IMF edi esiso. Owie no say the implications of the akosui anything. IMF foi implications of the akosui anything. Mami mo mu e. What's the first? The Bank of Ghana's negative equity, yani etwamu 90 billion Ghana cedis, is effectively a deferred fiscal cost. Even if recapitalization is phased over several years, it remains an obligation of the state. If government issues bonds to recapitalize the bank, this could increase gross public debt, future interest obligations, or rollover pressures. I can understand that we signed a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana for a recapitalization of the bank between 2026 and 2032. But this was based on the bank's negative equity position of 61.32 billion Ghana cedis, not the 93.58 billion cedis we are recording now. The position is now worse at negative 96.28 billion cedis, and without an extension of the capitalization period, the fiscal cost of the government can only increase. Gold-related gains should not be treated as a stable source of fiscal or central bank income. Gold sales can support liquidity and reserves management, but gains are sensitive to prices, exchange rates, timing of disposal, and accounting treatment. A fiscal framework that implicitly relies on such gains would be vulnerable. The way named Disamka, Dr. Amin Anta, Eshi Ediguho. Closing was, I wish to thank you for your attention and hope that these observations will inform ongoing engagement with the Ghanaian authorities. You should treat the Bank of Ghana's 2025 financial statement as an important signal for post-program fiscal surveillance. The reported figures suggest that Ghana's fiscal adjustment should not be assessed only through the central government budget balance, but also through the broader public sector balance sheet, including central bank losses, quasi-fiscal costs, unresolved debt restructuring efforts, and capitalization obligations. As a country, we have made significant gains under the program. However, the durability of that progress will depend on whether fiscal consolidation is supported by transparent recognition of all public sector obligations, including the credibility of the Bank of Ghana. I hope to receive a quick response from you. Sincerely signed, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam Anta, MP, Ranking Member on the Finance Committee of Parliament. Copies, Director, IMF, Africa Department, Washington, D.C., IMF Resident Representative, Accra. The way ni krata, yewura Dr. Amin Adam Anta, Atabri, edi abawura IMF, aswe yekesia, ewo Washington, D.C.